Okay, that's all. It's like blind. Okay, everybody about ready? Mark, you ready?
We're good. We're live.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're with the whole board and the outside.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 7:45, August 25th. Please rise to the pledge of allegiance and a moment of reflection.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, be seated. Okay, roll call.
Ms. Galino. Here. Mrs. Gregory. Here. Mrs. Knight. Here. Mrs. Lovelace. Here. Mr. Lovelace.
Here.
Mr. Shea.
Here.
Ms. Stewart. Here. Ms. Thompson. Here. Mr. Brady. Can you give me your PIN number, sir?
606.
Thank you.
Okay, reading of the minutes or approval of the minutes. I read that off for you.
You simply ask if there is any objection to the minutes as presented and take a motion in a second.
Okay, any objection to the minutes as presented? Make a motion. Okay, make a motion to approve. Second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, executive session. You just announced that there were executive
Okay. Executive sessions that I have on record are August 5th, 2020 at 7:30 with the full board for personnel issues. Public work session beginning at 7:30 in the Lynchburg High School auditorium.
Thank you. Board committee reports. Don't believe we have any students for that part. Okay,
Typically their first month to report.
yeah. Okay, Aaron, intermediate unit report. Candy.
Yes, we met last Tuesday night via Zoom, and the major topic that would affect us here in Lynchburg is that we accepted the funds of, I believe it's $1,050 that will be used for the pre-K counts, which Lynchburg has and a few other districts. So that funds those programs and those districts.
Okay. Okay, LASD monthly report. Myself, Mr. Lovelace, we attended the meeting last Thursday. Big things of note, enrollment from LAP in the 2021 school year is 533 students. That changed a little bit. Leesburg has 36 students attending. On September 11th, we'll be having its practical nurse graduation, and new practical nursing classes will start on September 14th. Okay, Armstrong County Tax Collection Committee. Is there anything there, Bill?
No meetings.
Okay, and the PSBA, have that on hold? Okay. Okay, administrative report.
Okay, I have two things for this evening. Number one, I would like to bring up the topic of athletics. At the end of last week, PIAA did approve at a vote of 25-5 or 20-5, I'm sorry, I wrote that down somewhere, that we are proceeding with athletics. So we do need to have a conversation about it because I need to let the PIAA know by next Monday if we are or are not proceeding with athletics. So because we've not had a discussion, we continue with practices, we're continuing with our game schedule. But I just want, and I don't want to speak for the school board when I say that I would like to progress with our fall sports, which includes both band and cheerleading.
Open it up for comments from the board. Go ahead, Lisa.
I believe the extracurriculars are really important for our students. If we can continue to do them safely, we should, with or without a schedule or final performance. The social aspect of getting the students together is to bring as much normalcy as we can. I would like to see if we can, with or without a schedule being formally posted, that we continue with athletics and extracurriculars as we can, if the coaches or sponsors of the events can do so safely, following the social distancing guidelines.
Okay, any other comments?
I agree. I feel that it is important to continue. They've been practicing through the summer with no consequences. I just think that we should continue until someone higher up tells us that we cannot.
Agreed.
Can we set that expectation with coaches that even if a schedule is not posted, that if we're allowed, that we would continue activities?
We have a wording for acts of different sorts. And I'll just echo the rest of the board, for full sports this fall, on the state. Okay, any other reports?
Okay, thank you. So we will be proceeding with athletics and extracurriculars. Just one other thing, I handed to the school board our phased return reopening plan. So as the public knows, the board has voted on a 20-day virtual start. So that would take us up to about October 5th. Now, of course, there's pieces of data that will dictate what we do after that, or at least what I will give to the board to make the decision. So as of last Friday, our data still puts us at the moderate level. Now, new data coming out, and it's not yet published, says that we're going to the substantial level, which means we would have to do virtual education. So as soon as that comes out, I will let you know, but we're doing the right thing. So that will begin September 2nd, which is our students' first day of school. So as you know, in the approved plan, we are going to have small groups of students that come in when safe. And of course, all protocols will be followed, such as 6 feet of distancing and the mask and the cleaning and whatnot. So phase 2 will look like when we were, it'll be forward learning for 5 days still in phase 2, but I would like to focus on the transition of coming back at 25%. So when we come back as hybrid, that means 50% of our students are in the building at any given time. So I would like to take a week to transition 25% on a Monday, Tuesday, and then the other 25% on a Thursday, Friday. And then the following week, have another 25% in on Monday, Tuesday, and another 25% on Thursday, Friday. What that will do is we will be able to really judge the things that we put in place, which are all CDC requirements or recommendations. And then that gives us the opportunity to really teach 25% of the students at the time on new protocols, what to expect, just bring them in slowly. And then that means by October 5th, we will have the hybrid approach.
May I have a question first?
Yes.
So you want to start phase 2 before October 5th?
Yeah.
That's not what we said, though.
No, it can be after October 5th. I think there was, like, the people are holding out of that October 5th. So I would like to bring them in slowly, maybe a week or so before that.
I don't know that the teachers will be ready for that. I mean, they were told October 5th for students, other than small groups like our learning support and things like that. This isn't what we talked about before.
Okay. So
I don't know what anybody else feels, that's my.
Well, okay, so whatever date, okay, can I just finish the plan?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's what I just, I wanted to
Yeah,
get you down.
So, and we can, and so that was just because there was a consensus of the board that maybe, maybe 20 days is too much. So I thought if we would bring small groups in prior to that, so we can start October 5th, bringing 25% at the time, any given time. And people starting with virtual or hybrid, talking to other superintendents, this was the approach that was recommended, to bring groups in at a time to get them used to it. So if it's not I'm not asking you guys to decide anything. Like this is not like a bill. This is not.
Okay, I didn't know.
No.
I didn't know you approved
This
something.
is just me talking to the school board about what I was thinking
All right.
to bring students back. I'm not asking you to do a
I'm
single thing
sorry.
tonight.
Okay, thank you.
So I want to just bring them in at 25% of the time. If that is not wanted, we can move right into phase 3. And all students will be in a hybrid AB with the hope to return people, all of our students at 5 days a week. So this is just for you guys to look at tonight, to think about, ask questions, and then it'll be on the agenda for the September 9th meeting to have a full conversation. So this is just me giving you the information tonight. So
Okay,
you
I
weren't
jumped-
expected
I
to
jumped the
discuss
gun.
something. No.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say why. It was just so you weren't being forced to look at something.
I don't think you did because now the public heard all that and they're hopefully on that too, so.
No, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to get hopes up, like, I just wanted to bring a recommendation to the school board to talk about. I did not mean to do that, so again, looking at the data though, we can't do anything right now because we're still in a certain phase.
And what I didn't mean that the teachers wouldn't be ready, but that the purpose of the 4 weeks was to get the flow totally going. And if you change it to like doing this sooner, and they're banking on 4 weeks of cyber, and then now all of a sudden you're gonna have 25% of their students plus the cyber, that isn't,
Yeah, and
I don't
this,
know, that's my
again,
opinion.
this is just for me to give this to you tonight, saying that we're gonna talk about this in depth, I just wanted you to have it.
And the assumption is, okay, go
Right,
ahead.
yeah.
Hold on, Bill. Lisa and Bill.
Yeah, I actually wanted to say, if we ignore the dates, I love the idea of a phased approach. My challenge to you would maybe start with high school first or grade or whichever, right? Instead of like every other grade, just because I think we're gonna learn lessons from that first week. And I think we, meaning you guys, right? So you guys feel hard stuff. So I think the idea of a phased approach and getting people in, if everyone agrees on dates, I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea for teachers. I think that's a great idea for these new processes to try out. I think my question is gonna be sort of the concept of a decision date. So if we say our decision is online until October 5th, right? What I don't want is people to go, "Ah," because all of a sudden we go from that moderate to the whatever level, right? So I think that whatever we stand on by a certain date, we should consider and not ride the waves as much, just at this point in time. Like, so even if we go severe next week, we're still looking at October 5th. So I think we need to be really clear about, we are trying not to ride the waves. We're trying to ride the waves and stick with a plan, because everything can change 6 times back and forth. So that's my fear. So I think if we stick with the week before October 5th, we're gonna look at that number or whatever that would be. I think that would help us. But I love the idea of a phased approach. My only question would be, is every other grade the right approach, or should we send middle school first, please? Sorry. So however that would work, I would leave that decision up to you without a moment. I like the idea of a phased approach.
And there's key data points if you look on here, we have to follow these key data points. We can't arbitrarily like pick a date or pick a time. And we know October 5th is our goal, but we need to, every week, every Friday, every Monday, every Tuesday, I'm monitoring these data points to make a recommendation. So I can't give date to anybody right now because I don't know what the data points are gonna look like in September, beginning of October, January 1st. Like, I don't know that.
If we go severe tomorrow, we're not changing that October 5th
That's
date,
correct,
right?
because you're supposed to follow the data for 2 weeks.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I just want to be clear that like, if something wacko happens next week, just kind of let it happen. We're still shooting for October 5th. To begin a phased approach would be my suggestion. I think that's a great idea.
All right, I know Bill has next, and then we'll have Karen go. Keep hearing my turn. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, we can just do with the phased approach also in a data point is to get the reports, as I'm sure you will, Tiffany, from Doug and Dave on the preparedness of our staff also.
That is correct.
You know, if we bring it in sooner, we know, but just to bring that data in also.
See, I don't think we can say we're gonna bring it in sooner.
Let's let everybody else have a turn.
I can't say that I was up until October
Fifth.
5th. So that's all her.
Yeah.
You're saying if we go to severe, that we still proceed with,
What I'm saying is, my recommendation would be, you can't keep changing our plan every time the news changes. So between now and October 5th, we could go from severe tomorrow, back to moderate. I don't want people to get their hopes up that, oh, we're really good for 2 weeks, we're gonna open tomorrow. Or we were really bad 10 days ago, so now we're never opening. So like, I don't wanna go the back and forth. So you might be looking at data today.
it seemed to me that you were saying we could be in severe, but we're still gonna go with the,
No, I'm just saying that we're not.
all right.
Yeah.
That was
Well, you know,
I just have a question. The 25% you're talking about, how many approximately does that fit each class at a time?
So that puts approximately 5 kids in a class one time for the 25%. Now that, when I say class, I mean like especially at the secondary level, each class has a different number of kids, but like less than 10, like middle, like 5
Yeah, so
to
it's like,
8 would be
I
enough.
know, I know it's not exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see how many we're putting in there.
Yeah, so that's why I would suggest just a basic approach tutor for each student, so we can educate them and make sure everything that we're doing is correct before we bring everybody back. And the date, there are no dates attached to this, because as you see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points in the file that we have to look at.
Okay, thank you.
anybody else have anything?
I just, again, October 5th, to start that phase of 25%, that's very sensible. I thought that you wanted to start it sooner.
No, we'll look at the data, like starting
And then-
mid to late September, and talk about like what that's gonna look like and when.
So we're easing into it.
Yeah,
Except,
yeah,
right?
so that, I think that makes the most sense to ease into it. And so we're gonna find strengths and weaknesses of every student, of every staff member, of every hallway, of every computer. Like, there's gonna be a lot to take back in.
That's a good idea.
And just to close, I'm sure you're gonna coordinate this with the teachers
Oh,
and
gosh,
everybody,
yeah.
so,
We are nowhere near that right now.
so this will not be
Yeah.
unplayed without a million of like coordination.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
any other discussion on that topic?
I just have one question too. When you move from phase, let's go with like 3 to 4 or whatever. So we're gonna give parents, teachers, all that, some, like, there'll be some window of notice. So like,
That is.
as of right now, it's good. So in 10 school days, we're gonna move,
Yeah.
do our best to move forward.
So when that time comes, I'll suggest a time frame to the board for us to transition, still based on this data, knowing the changes could happen every time. So I would no way say, okay, it's Friday, let's try this out on Monday. Like, there will definitely be a streamed transition for everybody.
Did everybody hear that? Can you repeat what you said very loudly into the camera?
Yes. We will not put anything last minute on a family. And what I mean by that, or a staff member. So it's not gonna be Friday and all of a sudden our data points are in the low range. We're gonna start back to school on Monday. There's gonna be a concrete transition phase for families and staff members to prepare. So say we say October 5th is our goal day of coming back hybrid, and our full-time date is November 1st, which I'm completely making those dates up. Like, we're not gonna say October 31st, that all kids are back on Monday. There will be a very clear calendar of what to expect. Thank you.
Okay. Move on from there, something else, remarks by visitors.
I have none.
Okay, unfinished business, for related issues. Okay, a motion is needed to remove from the table and amend the 2021 school district calendar as presented in exhibit UB1.
A second?
Okay, all in favor? Oh, sorry. Back up on, any, discussion? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, new business. I'm gonna read this off and I'll let somebody answer. A motion is needed to accept the resignation of Mr. Bradley Walker from the position of Business Manager, Human Resources Director, effective September 30th, 2020. And we have a motion to table.
So you should have the motion made and seconded, and then further discussion.
Gotcha. So need a motion.
Do I motion to table?
We need a first and a second, then we can do that, Neil.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Wait,
So,
he motioned to table, not to accept.
I know, so can you make that a motion can you move item one? Somebody move item
I
one.
motion to accept the resignation of Mr. Bradley Walker from the position of Business Manager, Human Resources Director, effective September 30th, 2020.
Second.
Okay, Karen, second. Okay, discussion now.
Your motion to table.
I make a motion to table.
Second.
And then you vote on the motion to table.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Nay, whatever.
So,
May I take a roll call vote so that I can get it up here?
sure.
Ms. Guarino, yes or no to tabling? Yes. Mrs. Gregory?
No.
Mrs. Knight?
You said two tabling it?
Yes.
Yes.
Two tabling it?
Yes.
Mrs. Lovelace? Yes. Mr. Lovelace?
Yes.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson? No. Mr. Brady?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
The motion carries the table this item. Okay. A motion is needed to accept the resignation of Mr. Brian Orbach from the position of assistant football coach, boys varsity football, effective the 2021 school term.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a question, as a discussion. And we didn't, I don't know who can answer this question, but I feel the need to ask it publicly. Is something going on with football that we're getting resignations from parent? I was my impression of sort of a new coaching staff. So I just sort of wanted to throw it out there to check in. It throws some red flags to me. Just want to make sure everything's okay for our students.
Yeah, I don't have the answer.
I know.
I have to research it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hold on.
I can speak for one of the resignations. Mr. Coates is now a coach for soccer and badminton. But he switched sports and switched schools for that. That came through one resignation.
thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to accept the resignation of Mr. Philip Cope from the position of volunteer assistant football coach effective August 26, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the following supplemental positions for the 2021 school term. Ravon Motley, basketball girls 7th and 8th grade coach. John Alex Snyder, assistant football coach, boys varsity football. Connor Walters, junior high football coach. Corey Null, volunteer assistant football coach. Need a motion?
So moved.
Additional language.
Oh, and let me add a little bit more to that. For the 2020-2021 school term, subject to the season or activity actually occurring, with the stipend being prorated if the season or activity is shortened or canceled. So make motion, was that included language?
Second.
Okay, discussion, anyone?
Does that include that they will continue with activity even if, or they could potentially have to continue with activity even if the season is canceled?
If you want them to, go to them and ask them to do that, certainly you have the ability to do so.
But doesn't that say, does it say pending? Is it definite that if the season's canceled, they're not gonna be?
Subject to if it would happen, we built the language in so we can adjust to that.
It says prorated, I thought.
Yes.
Prorated, so
You want me, you want to say
They can bring it up.
Well, I'm just saying, what he read doesn't sound to me like if it's canceled from someone else, we're gonna try to still get those kids together safely.
no, I thought it was prorated on that account, but that we were then going to talk to them and ask them because it was really up to us to pay them. We can go to them and say, if this isn't happening, will you continue doing things with them? And if they say, yeah, it will be prorated, they would get their full amount.
Okay. If that's understood in there, then
Any other comments?
And still schedule their own stuff, so even if it's once a week instead of 5 days a week, they still pay. And what you want.
well, wait. I don't
That's
want
how
that.
it works, because they set their own schedules.
Way down, time out, wait a minute.
I'm not gonna tell them.
I think if they're paying, if we're paying them an amount, then there's no games, there should be a requirement of hours.
That's why the prorated is guaranteed.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
As President, we would be altering the contracts then, if we want them to do the work at the, I think we'd have to change the contracts, then we would be prorated also, if the station did not occur. So, we're asking multiple things.
I think this language gives you the protection.
We don't have to pay them, if we want to do additional work, and now as it's, the decision's made, that's the contract we're already.
No, I think this,
Yeah, right.
I think this language protects you in that you can prorate it if the season is shortened, but it also gives you the ability, as Lisa suggested, to go to those coaches to see whether the activity can be continued, in which case you have that discussion and make a call about whether or not you want to prorate it.
So if that's what I get at, say basketball coach, or I'll say squash coach, we don't have squash, right? Okay, so the squash coach says they don't want to do it virtually, can we replace that position?
Normally, normally you'd have to hire somebody else, but you basically say either they're not fulfilling their obligations, so you remove them from that position.
Even if there's no season?
I suppose.
I'm just, so like, if there's only 5 games, there's a lot of work leading up to those games. I would really like to see the kids stay together safely if possible, asterisks, all these things, right? Without, even if there's, but if a coach says, no, I'm not doing that unless there's a game, I still want kids to play squad if they want to safely. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't think you can make that person do it, right? But you can, whenever you go and talk to them and you say, this is what you're gonna get paid because the season stops today. But if you stay on and coach for blah, blah, blah amount of days a week or meet with them for so many hours a week, we would be willing to give you the remainder of your stipend. And then at that point, it would be their choice.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That's how I interpret it. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's how I understood as well. I mean, if someone says, I'm not willing to do that, could you put someone else in that job? I think so.
All right, any more discussion? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the hiring of Christopher Kubit to the position of custodial maintenance worker effective August 26th at step 1 of the Service Employees International Union Collective Bargaining Agreement.
Second. I'm sorry, who made the motion? Mr. Lovelace. Thank you.
Okay, discussion? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the hiring of Miss Carol Wolf to the position of substitute nurse for the 2021 school term. Discussion? Okay, discussion? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the continuation of the substitute nurse agreement at a rate of $90 per day.
Did we miss?
We missed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreement with Armstrong.
Oh, I apologize. We'll do 2 and we'll go back to B1. Okay, this is for the substitute nurse agreement.
Motion.
All in favor?
We need a second.
I second.
Okay, opposed? Okay, we'll backtrack. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Okay, finance, B1, a motion is needed to ratify the agreement with Armstrong Security Investigation for provision of school security guard services at a rate of $34 an hour beginning July 1st, 2020 through June 20th, 2021, as presented in Exhibit B1.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we're at finance 3. Back on track. A motion is needed to approve the ProSoft hosting service agreement for provisions of data services from Endor Computer Corporation as presented in Exhibit B3.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A
Mr. President, I apologize. On motion number 2,
yes.
I do not have a vote on motion number 2 for the substitute nurse agreement.
Okay,
It was approved 9-0.
It was,
Yes.
thank you. Who was the first and the second on that, sir?
Roxanne was first and I was the second.
Thank you.
okay. All right, number 4. A motion is needed to approve the 2021 Armstrong, Indiana Clearing Drug and Alcohol Commission Student Assistance Program Agreement for provision of services for student assistance program as presented in Exhibit B4.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? B18, budgetary transfers, 2019-2020 report, exhibit B19, construction account update report, exhibit B20. Need a motion? Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, fundraising request. A motion is needed to ratify the following fundraising requests as presented in exhibit C1. Curriculum, a motion is needed to approve standards-based reporting in kindergarten through third grade as presented in Exhibit E1.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Board-related issues. A motion is needed to approve the 2021 bus driver substitutes, and bus aides as presented in Exhibit F1.
Motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the 2021 busing schedule as presented in Exhibit F2.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. A motion is needed to approve the attendance of interested board members in the PSBA Fall Virtual Advocacy Day to be held on October 8th, 2020 at no cost to the district as presented in Exhibit F3. Okay, discussion?
We have interested board members.
Good question.
I did receive, some interest from this night as long as it works with her work schedule, and everyone on the board is invited to attend. It is virtual, so it won't be a cost to the school district, so anyone that is interested in participating, contact me, I'll be more than happy to make those registrations for you. Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. A motion is needed to approve the attendance of interested members in the PASA PSBA Virtual School Board Leadership Conference to be held October 14th, 2020 through October 15th, 2020 at no cost to the district as presented in Exhibit F4.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? And again, Patty, you're taking.
Yes, please contact me if you're interested in the cost of the district. These are wonderful networking opportunities for our school board members as well as educational opportunities.
Okay, any other questions, discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We have any old business?
I have none.
Do we have any communications?
I have none.
On other, do we want to add anything from any of the school board members? Okay. We're good?
Thank you.
Okay, remarks by visitors on items not included on the agenda. Just open forum. Do we have any? Okay, announcement and time and place of the following meeting. You do that?
Absolutely. There were no recess or reconvened meetings. Committee meetings include the following work session agenda setting meeting that is scheduled for Wednesday, September 9th, 2020 at 7:30 in the Leesburg High School auditorium, unless the board decides to change that. It is scheduled in the Leesburg High School library with an executive session at 6:30 in the superintendent's office, central administration office. The regular board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020, beginning at 7:30 in the Leesburg High School library with an executive session at 7:30 in the superintendent's office, central administration office.
Okay, thank you.
So we should have the meetings in the library now?
That is where in December, each year during board reorganization, the board meetings are set from January through November. During board reorganization, the following December, they are preset. It has been advertised at the Leesburg High School library with an executive session in the superintendent's office, and if there's a location change, I have posted that on the website, and posted that on all the doors to the buildings where the meetings would have been held and which buildings they are being held. So unless there's a Zoom meeting called, that would require another legal act. Does that make sense?
So can we change the location? Yeah.
Yeah.
We just have to post it on the website and post it on.
No, it just says we've already talked about this, our executive session being held in the library. So,
That's listed for there, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not, I'm sorry.
No, executive session.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about
I'm
it.
just saying this,
It does say on there.
yeah. This is wrong, that we need to do anything to change that, yeah, we'll change that for us.
Alternatively, we need to change that, so we modify that,
Just the location of the executive session? I would say you do it for your next meeting. I mean, this isn't part of the public gathering. It's just for your information. Everybody understands that the location for the next executive session is going to be in the library.
Do you think we can do the physical distancing, social distancing in the library and make room for any public that attends? Or should we switch it to the auditorium for the actual meeting? I just love seeing on stage. Not really.
So you're asking to switch the regular meetings back to the library?
Yeah. But no, leave them back to here.
Yeah.
For the spacing, yes.
Right, yeah.
But this says that we're having it in the library. That's what we're
So people post that on the door.
Yeah, I think that's how the legal advertise, is she goes and posts it on the door and then it's changed. Then we're
if the decision is made, the board would collectively like to have it in the auditorium on September 9th and September 23rd, I can do that, document it in the official minutes, I would put the board on the number. All good?
Yes.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
Any other comments on the time, date, and place of the meeting?
The 9th, the exact session is 6. Yeah, what did she say?
I didn't hear.
Executive session is at 6 o'clock, correct?
Yeah.
The executive session on the 9th or on the?
The 9th.
Happy will send updates on the
Yes.
time.
Thank you.
excellent meetings.
Okay, last thing on the agenda here, adjournment. We have a motion to adjourn.
Second, she stole it from him.
Okay, discussion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, it's 8:32, all motions adjourned. Aye. Okay,
Thanks.
Again?
Wait.
motion carried.
Thanks, everyone.
Can you call a time just to check?
The time is 8:32.
Okay, thanks, Neil, bye.
Yeah, that was great.